Okay, so today we're going to do Chapter 1, Section 1, Day 1, representing rational numbers on a number line. Okay, so when we start, you see the picture of the number line here, and it says find the absolute values of positive fractions, and then it gives you a definition of absolute value, which is right here. It says absolute value is the distance a number is from zero on a number line. Absolute value is always a positive distance. So what does that mean? If we look back up here at the number line, 0 is in the center. And if you look, we kind of talked about this in class today. If you look at the number 3, the whole number 3 is 3 spaces to the right from 0 on the number line. And its opposite integer is 3 spaces from 0 to the left or in the negative. They are both the same distance from 0. So integers are positive and negative whole numbers. And 3 and negative 3 are opposites of each other because they're both the same distance. So if I asked you for the absolute value of 3, it would be 3 because 3 is 1, 2, 3 spaces from 0 on the number line. The same thing would occur for negative 3. Negative 3 is also 3 spaces from 0 on the number line. So that's why absolute value is always a positive number, because distance from 0 is always positive. It doesn't matter if you go to the right or to the left. Okay, so it says find the absolute value of the negative fractions in decimals. Okay, so right here we have an example. We have these bars here are absolute value bars. So if you have bars around a number, that means absolute value, which means what is the distance that number is from 0 on a number line. So this means the absolute value of 3, which means we just said how many spaces is 3 from 0 on a number line. It is 3 spaces. And the absolute value of negative 2, you could scroll back and look here. Negative 2 is 2 spaces from 0 on a number line, so that would be positive 2. Remember, absolute value is always a positive number. Now the same thing works with fractions. The absolute value of negative 11/12, how many spaces is it from 0? It is 11/12 of a space, as well as 26/15. It would be 26/15, or if you turned that improper fraction into a mixed number, it would be 1 and 11/15. My pen is not working very well. I apologize. Okay, so now it says which number is closer to 0. Okay, so if we look at the number line here, we have which number is closer to 0? So the numbers... Okay, so we're going to go back up. I'm going to get my eraser out. And we're going to go back up here. And which number is closer to 0? So negative 11/12. I'm going to switch to red. Negative 11/12 is almost at negative 1. So negative 11/12 would be all the way over here. And 1 and 11/15, 11 out of 15 is going to be almost half. So this is 1 and 11/15. So if you look at which number is closer to 0, negative 11/12 is between 0 and negative 1, and 1 and 11/15 is between 1 and 2, so negative 11/12, or down here, negative 11/12 is closer to 0 on the number line. Okay? So then it says find the absolute values of these fractions. Let me scoot this up some. And the numbers are 3 and 2/7 and negative 18/5. Well, 3 and 2/7 is going to be between 3 and 4, closer to 3, because 2 out of 7 is less than half. So 3 and 2/7 will be somewhere over here. Negative 18/5 is an improper fraction. We need to turn that into a mixed number. So 5 goes into 18 3 times with 3/5 left over. So this is negative 3 and 3/5. 3 out of 5 is more than half, so it's going to be closer to negative 4. So negative 3 and 3/5. Okay, and so now for absolute value is the distance from 0. So negative 18/5 is 18/5, or we just said 3 and 3/5 spaces from 0. And 3 and 2/7 is 3 and 2/7 spaces from 0, because remember, absolute value is always a positive number. And then it does say which number, what's getting written off here, it says which number is farther from 0. If you look at your number line now, since we've plotted them, Here is 0 in the center. This, to the right, we go 1, 2, 3, and a little bit. To this one, we go 1, 2, 3, and a lot. So therefore, 3 and 2/7 is closer to 0. And 3 and 3/5 is farther from 0. So this would be the one that is farther. Okay? All right, so now we talked a little bit about rational numbers in class today, and we said that a rational number is this big, huge, long thing. But what I said is a rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction. Okay, and I gave you examples. 5, we can write 5 as a fraction. 5 is equal to 5 over 1. 0.75 can be written as a fraction. It would be 3/4. Okay, so anything that you can write as a fraction, even if the form I give you is not a fraction, is a rational number. Okay, and m over n is just a fraction. And when it says, and n cannot be 0, in any fraction you can't have a denominator of 0, because that is an undefined. All right, so here's examples. 1/3, negative 22 over 25, 2/5. We said 5.75. All right, so now it says express integers and fractions as a fraction. So if I have 1 and 1/2 and I need to turn it mixed number into just a fraction, we need to make it an improper fraction. So you take the denominator and you multiply it by the whole number. 1 times 2, 2 times 1 is 2, and then you add the numerator. So this is going to be 3/2. Okay? And then same thing over here. 3 is a whole number. You put it over 1. 3 over 1. All right, then we have whole numbers. It's 23. So again, that's going to be 23 over 1. Negative 45 is going to be negative 45 over 1. And then this one, you cannot see the whole thing. It should be 11 and 7/9. And I am going 11 and 7, that should be a 9/9. And I'm going to have you try that one on your own. Okay, and then I'm going to have you do these two also. So the last 3 on the page, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to have you try it, and then we'll come back on. You're going to turn all these into just fractions. Okay, so for the first one, 9 times 11 is 99, plus 7 is 206, and you keep your denominator, so it's 206 over 9. Then over here, same directions. 6 times 11 is 66, plus 1 is 67/6. And then to turn a whole number into a fraction, you just put it over 1. Okay? So we'll talk a little bit more about this in class tomorrow. Hope you have a good night, and we'll see you then.